Hi, this is Mike with Kodaris, and today we're going to be talking about using store credits within the Kodaris payments platform. So in this scenario, a customer comes in, they've previously bought product. It could be a customer with an account, so a B2B customer. It could also be a walk-in customer or a cash account. In either case, instead of crediting the original payment method or maybe writing a credit to their account, as a distributor, you want to create and give the customer a store credit that can be used at a later point as a payment method for a future order. So we're going to walk through that order entry screen. In this example, I'm going to select an existing customer account, Electric, and I'm going to be entering in a return order. I'm going to select return. It's going to ask me for a reason code. This is all just normal returns order processing. What product are they returning? They happen to be returning a drill bit. So we're going to credit them, potentially going to link that line to an original invoice. So that option is there. Again, standard ERP functionality. I'll go ahead and submit. And now I'm going to go to the collect payment. And again, instead of crediting the original payment method or their card or even creating a credit on their open accounts receivable, what we want to do is we want to process and give this customer a store credit. So at this point, I can use a payment method that's been defined called store credit. I'm going to go ahead and process it as a one-time return. Now, if I wanted to, I could actually tie the store credit to a unique email address or an individual user under that customer account. In this case, I'm just going to tie it to the customer account as a whole. So when I select customer account, it knows I'm working with Electric. They have a current store credit balance of $603.70. We're going to be adding $26.30 to their available store credit. I'll click process payment. If I need to or wanted to, I could print a receipt that I can share with the customer. At this point, though, I'll just click finish, and that transaction is complete. The customer now has an additional $26 store credit available to use when they shop in the future. Before we go in and enter another transaction and use that store credit, I did want to show what it looks like and what got created in the Kodaris operations portal. So we're going to toggle over to the Kodaris operations portal. If I drill into companies and I pull up that customer, Electric, there they are, 1009. I can drill in, just hide the panel on the left. I can drill in, and there's a couple of ways I can look at this. First, I can look at accounts receivable, and I'm going to see there was a web refund that was processed for $26.30. I can click and drill into that. If the customer is requesting a copy of the receipt, I can go ahead and print or email a copy of the receipt or generate a PDF copy. So I can see the detailed store credit that was processed as a web refund. In addition, I can go down and look at what we refer to as their financial accounts in Kodaris, and I can see they've got a store credit financial account. If I were to look at that, drill into the detail, I can see the total available store credit balance is $630, and that would be the sum of their available balance prior to a return plus that previous return. So I've got visibility at the transaction level detail within the Kodaris operations portal in terms of the web refunds that were processed through order entry and CSD, as well as the sum totals that should balance out to the general ledger or financial accounts in the ERP. So let's go back over to order entry in the ERP, and we're going to now say that a few weeks later, that customer has come back in, they're going to buy something from me, and they want to use that store credit. So once again, I can select the customer. In this case, it's going to be a stock order. I'm going to go ahead and click next. I'm going to select the product that they want to buy. Let's just say it's this claw bar, $14.99. I'm going to add that to the order. I'm going to go to collect a payment. And once again, for the payment type, I'm going to select store credit. Once I do, now I can click one-time sale. Am I using a store credit on the customer's account or on an individual email address? I'm going to say customer account. There's my available balance of $630, the payment amount of $15.89. I'm going to process the payment. Again, I can print a receipt. I'm going to click finish. The transaction is approved. The remaining balance due is $0. I can see the store credit that was used in the payment history. And I'm going to click finish to complete this transaction. The customer's now taken their product. They've walked out. We've delivered it. They've paid for it. They've paid for it at Open Store Credit. If I were to toggle back to the Kodaris operations portal, looking at that company, just going to refresh to make sure the data is up to date. I can once again go look at the two tabs we looked at previously. So I'm going to see the company payment was made at $15.89. Again, I can generate a receipt for that or regenerate a receipt. I'm also going to toggle to the financial accounts. And if I were to drill into that store credit balance, I'm going to see that it's now $630 in store credit, less the $15 or so that we used to pay for that order. So thank you for walking through store credits with me. As you can see, it makes it very simple to not only generate the store credit for your customer, but then for your customer to consume that store credit in order entry. All the while in the back end of the Kodaris operations portal, we have the transaction level detail as well as the running balances from a financials perspective. Thanks and see you next time.